This is what Bitcoin needs. We need the network effect. And for that, we need missionaries. We need preachers. We need a cult. We need more people to bring more people in. Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, I want to talk about the stats. As usual, where we're going, where we're heading with Bitcoin. It doesn't look very bright right now, but we're gonna see how it goes. And I want to talk about a different topic, and that is, I found 3 crucial mistakes Satoshi Nakamoto did with Bitcoin, and I want to talk about these. While the first 2 are pretty much preventable, the third problem is really a problem I took seriously, and I made a mission out of this. So without further ado, let's jump into the stats. So if you look at this, Bitcoin took a big hit, Ethereum took a big hit. We have flattened out over the weekend right now. Some interesting things happened because some newer coins actually pumped. In one coin, the biggest loser right here is Aster, but if we look at this, Aster is doing phenomenally. It's a new project on the Binance chain, and it did 10x, 20x over the weekend, which is pretty insane. So maybe this is the reason why we are still tilting towards altcoin season. But what is pretty interesting is this. We are rather in the oversold territory on the RSI, and this is what I love. Fear and greed index at 34. We are in fear. We haven't hit the absolute greed phase of the cycle. So as I stated in the last video, we are still in the just okay zone. This is phenomenal. I think we are going higher in Q4. And this is pretty awesome. I like that. So let's jump into today's topic. Satoshi Nakamoto's idea of Bitcoin and his white paper 2008-2009 opened the way for new money. If you ask me, and this is what I made my life's mission, is to inform as many people as much about this new form of currency. We need new money. We need decentralized democratic money. Because what we have right now with the dollar is destroying the planet. And this has to stop. And Bitcoin might not be the best, but it is right now the best chance we have. But it doesn't make sense to always glorify it and say it is the savior. It's like Jesus came back to earth in form of Bitcoin, as some people might say. There are mistakes. Satoshi was a human being, and of course he made mistakes. All of these mistakes can be dealt with. So don't understand me wrong. All these mistakes can be dealt with. It's not only things he wrote, it's also posts on social media. So let's just go into mistake number 1. In the German Bitcoin space, there was recently a podcast where people talked about this, and I didn't know about this. Maybe you didn't know about this also. Bitcoin uses the Unix time, the 32-bit Unix time, and this time only reaches until the year 2106. So it means when the time of the Unix time is over in the February 2106, Bitcoin cannot create more blocks. What people told us is that in 2140 the last block gets mined, and then the miners only get paid for confirming transactions. But if we leave Bitcoin as it is right now, it will end in 2106. It can't go further because it is impossible to create new blocks when there is no time in the Bitcoin protocol. And so what the people in the podcast said, and I don't think that's a huge problem, but it is a problem right now, Bitcoin has to be updated to 64-bit. And when that happens, Bitcoin can run into infinity. But right now, with the Unix time at 32-bit, Bitcoin will end in the year 2106. We all gonna be dead by then, I guess. If you're 10, congratulations. But I think we won't survive as long as this. But this is a problem. If we want Bitcoin to run until eternity, this problem has to be fixed. We go right into problem number 2. Proof of work is essentially one CPU, one vote. Another quote. They vote with their CPU power, expressing their acceptance. These are all quotes from Satoshi's famous Bitcoin white paper. What's the mistake there? CPU. This might not be a real big mistake, but Satoshi actually underestimated how fast things will go. He thought that even if Bitcoin lives 20 years or 30 years, people will still use their CPUs to mine. It actually evolved this fast that people found out to use GPUs to mine, and right now we have these insanely big mining machines and mining rigs all over the world that use power, absolutely astronomical amounts of power to mine Bitcoin. The mistake here is the following. Satoshi underestimated how successful Bitcoin will be. And I don't think that he actually anticipated that. And right now the Bitcoin space has to deal with that. We have ever-growing mining rigs, we have ever-growing amount of nodes, and of course with that more transactions in small blocks of 1 megabyte. I think Satoshi's mistake here was he underestimated the success Bitcoin will have. Is this a mistake? Well, in this case, we will see how it plays out. And now mistake number 3, and that is a mistake I took by heart. And that's his famous quote. If you don't believe me or don't get it, I don't have time to try to convince you. He said this in a whole different context, of course. He tried to explain how the blocks work, and someone in the forum wanted to know if we can scale Bitcoin to something like Visa as a payment system. And in that context, he explained how all of this works. And then at the end, he said, I don't have time to explain this to you. Bitcoiners use this quote all the time. They say, have fun staying poor. And they say, I don't have time to explain this to you, and stuff like that. I don't think this is the right approach. All the people on YouTube that do crypto content, they are doing it right. They are explaining it to the people. They are hyping it up. Even the meme coiners, they drag more people into the space. And if the people stay, we have more Bitcoiners, we have more holders, we have maybe more miners then, we have more node runners. This is what Bitcoin needs. We need the network effect. And for that, we need missionaries. We need preachers. We need a cult. We need more people to bring more people in. Because right now the whole world runs on fiat, and this is garbage. It's hell. It's literally going into CBDCs and full slavery. This is not the future I want for all the people in this world. I don't want this for the people living next to me. I don't want this for my friends who don't understand Bitcoin and think that I'm wasting my time and my money. I want everyone to benefit from this. Satoshi left this. He left this for us, and we have to use it to create a better world. And this is why we do need to make time to explain it to other people. So this quote is, in my opinion, his biggest mistake. Even if it was in a heated debate, but people use it today as a quote of Satoshi. You need to take your time, explain it to people. What is Bitcoin? Why do we need it? Why it is our last hope right now? Because in Europe, the digital euro gets rolled out in October, and I have to say it, I'm really afraid of what is coming. The people won't accept it in the first place. I'm pretty sure they won't accept it, but I'm certain they will somehow find a way for people to accept this hell of a money. So that's that. I know the video quality recently is a bit lackluster, but that's because my 9 to 5 started again and I have to figure things out right now. Please excuse this. I hope I can turn the notch up a bit in the future, but have a nice Sunday and I wish you the best. See you in the next one.